Hey lovelies, so another question that was asked was how to do snippets or like templates. I presume this meant coding, so I'm just going to show you on ANIRP because it's so much easier to do it through there anyway. But yeah, I'm going to show you how to do like a basic one. Obviously, if you want to do like more fancier ones, it does require some coding knowledge, so HTML, CSS, things like that. And they do get a little bit complicated because yes, you can do it as like a div layout, but then you've got to think of placements, and it is a little bit different than just doing like a layout, if that makes sense. But I'll go for a simple one just to give you a rough idea. Let's just put test here. So if you're just going to do a simple one, I would literally just put center in. That is the first thing I'm going to put, so then it centers it, and you don't have it like to the left, to the right, whatever. Then obviously if you're doing like a really simple one, you then want to put a div style in, so we can then go background. Let's just keep it white for now. I mean, obviously we can actually let's do a black one. We need a height. Hypothetically for this, we're going to do it as a non-scroll. So let's just put auto height width. Ideally, if you're doing centered, you don't want it more than like 400 or 500. The maximum, I think, bulletins go. I think, don't hold me to this, is about 650. Otherwise, it will then start going outside the border. And you can't really read it. Obviously these can be used for comments, but just be aware that if you're doing fancier codes or you're doing like divs, like layout codes, so you're doing like your reference or your links type, that is going to affect the coding of the layouts. So just be warned about that. That's why I tend to say keep these to bulletins, keep simple ones as comments, otherwise just put it in group forums. But anyway, we've got a background, we've got a height, we need a width, so let's just say 500 for the purpose of this. Because this is adjusting to the length of the text, we don't need to do an overflow, which is a scroll bar. If you want any border, we can add a border in. Let's go 2px solid box shadow. Let's add something fancy in. If I remember the coding right. And padding. Padding is basically, so you've got your width and height. Padding is like, think of it as a border beyond the border. It's probably just confusing you even more, but it's going to make things bigger on the outside, but obviously it just gives it a space around the back of the the template. I apologise for any background noise. Yeah, and then like, so let's just put for this, let's put 10. We don't really need a margin, so let's just leave it. We need a text align, so in this case let's go justify. Justify is the one like when you see it goes to the edge of the box, so it will literally fill the box, it'll be in a line. Actually, because we didn't do that, we do need a margin. Let's put 5, and then just really your fonts, so let's go text, font family, let's just do it as Times, font size 11px, line height. I'm actually liking an auto line height at the moment, don't ask me why, it just looks nicer. What else do we need? If you want any letter spacing, you can have word spacing as well. Letter spacing is the spacing where, you know, when you see it like that, that's letter spacing. If you want word spacing, it's like that. There will be a bigger word get between words. Self-explanatory really, but I just thought I'd just explain that. We need a font colour. Colour of the font will go white. We've got font family, font size, line height, we've got colour, we've got text align. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We can then close this with a speech mark and the arrow, and then you can go text here, div, center. Don't hold me to this because it's going to look awful, but yeah, this is just to give you a rough idea. Trust me on this. So yeah, so this is the box that we've created. Obviously this is going to get bigger for how much text you write. So if I quickly go into a Lorem Ipsum generator, I do apologise, I've cropped the screen down for the video recording, but it's, just to show you, let's change that to that. We will then need to put BRs in, which is break rule. It's basically, you can either do that or you can do P, which is paragraph. Paragraph is it's just hassle. Anyway, copy. That is your template. I just realised my border shadow didn't really work very well. No. I mean it does, but I wanted it like more fuzzy, but never mind. Is that gonna work? There we go. See there? But that is how you do essentially a coding one, and obviously the more you write, the more it's gonna then increase. So like, it's just gonna keep getting bigger. If you don't want this to go bigger and you want it like a set size and it has a scroll bar, you then want to go back into source, change the height. We're going to make it 500 for the purpose of this. After width, you then want to put an overflow auto, and that will now give you a scroll bar. But yeah, that is the basic rule of thumb on how to do a code. I mean, if you really want me to, I can post this as a freebie one so you can have a look into it, but that is literally how you do coding. It's so simple, and you can adjust it however you want. So obviously if you now wanted this as a white background with black text, there you go. If you wanted it skinnier and you don't want a border, if you don't want an overflow, again just change that back to auto. If you want it, that's actually quite cool actually, no letter spacing or a minus letter spacing. Obviously it's going to start looking awful when you do letter thingy, but obviously you can put it as normal, so you can get rid of that if you don't want it, and it gives you that. If you want to do like block quotes, it does get a little bit like awkward, but it's not really. You just have to do like block quote style. We'll just do it as, I don't know any other colour than red. Let's do it as that one. Block quote. So then it will give you a block quote. So this is just giving you like a random basic one, but I've done it like that. But obviously you can then get rid of like, I can't remember what it is. I think it's like border 0px solid. The transparent. I think that's for the left. Yeah. Obviously you still have a section, but if you want that for like tech, like a quote or something, then it will go like that. Obviously you can change the width, the height, things like that as well. Let's do it 85%. So then obviously you can make it longer, you can make it shorter. Yeah, you can make it centered, make it not centered. Bold and things like that will still work the same. So you can actually do it bold up here or italic. Obviously the way they do it is actually, it says italic and it says bold, but when you go into the coding it's actually strong and emphasis, which is a bit annoying, but you can adjust it however you want. So you can change it to strong or change it to bold, and then just do B style. Font weight 800, colour, we could do that as 86000, again just to give you a rough idea. Obviously I have not closed that properly, so it will still say strong at the end of it. Oh no, it just got rid of it completely. B. But yeah, that is essentially how you do it. If you want a headline, obviously the exactly same way that you've done everything else. So headline 1, style, make your styling. Text transform, uppercase, font. I'm just giving you a random idea, just so you've got a rough idea how this works. But there you go, that's with a header code. But obviously play around with it. This is especially for like coding. I would obviously recommend just typing in things if you want to learn things. So Tumblr is also a really good place for tutorials. So if you do need any like fancy codes or anything like that, then type it in there. Like literally just type into Google, type in Tumblr font CSS codes. It will give you some recommendations, obviously custom fonts, things like that. Some people will give you like, look, web safe fonts. Again, my thingy's gone a bit funny, but it will give you some like rough ideas. So like impact, old town. So you can literally type this in, so you can literally go like old town fantasy. I can't find my test. Where it says font family. I haven't done. Oh yeah, I did it under thingy, didn't I? Actual font rather, the thingy. Let's change that to font family. In comma or apostrophe close font size. Okay, that one didn't work, but yeah, apparently it's meant to. Like these ones will anyway, so if you go like your monospace, that should automatically work. Wrong tab, Hannah. Where did I put it? Okay, apparently that doesn't want to work. Oh, it's because I can't spell font. Oh, it still doesn't work. I have no idea. But yeah, there are places like that that you can find things that will help with them. Otherwise, oh, there you go. Now it's worked. Oh, it's because I did it in apostrophes. Otherwise, you can use these fonts. These fonts are generally rule of thumb work as well. But yeah, play around with it. As you can see, there are some fun things that will happen with coding. It will often break, and I'm sorry to tell you, it is common. Just go back through the code, have a look, see what you've missed. Like, for example, you just saw that I misspelt something. It can happen. But yeah, I hope that helps. And if you've got any questions, let me know.